meeting. Sorry about that, I should let you know. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call to order the New Bern Housing Authority Board of Commissioners meeting. It's now 4:30 and I'd like to have the roll call, please.
Commissioner Bengal,
Here.
Commissioner Blackman, Commissioner Coghill, Commissioner Copeland,
Here.
Commissioner King,
Here.
Commissioner Pierce,
Here.
Commissioner Reddick.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments registered? Thank you. So, before we get started with the approval of the minutes, I would like to welcome our newest commissioner, Judy Peters. We are excited and elated to have her as part of our team. Welcome. Thank you. So now we are, hopefully you had a chance to review the minutes from our last meeting, which seems like forever ago. So I would like to, or I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So.
Second.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
Second.
Thank you.
She's ready.
Any questions? Okay, the board minutes, all those in, I'm sorry, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 4 minutes approved. All right, so now we will have our finance report.
Shay, we got a speaker, so you can talk regularly.
Okay. The first report is the balance sheet. Not a lot of activity this month. Does anyone have any questions on the balance sheet? Okay. The next report is the Trent Court budget comparison report. Does anyone have any questions on the Trent Court report?
Just for the good of the board members that were not here during the finance committee meeting, and for the official minutes of this meeting, Commissioner Copeland and Commissioner Bingo had a couple of questions related to certain expenses line items. Shay during the finance committee explained that some cost allocation were adjusted for this year. So we used budget line items from the previous year. But this year, from an operation standpoint, certain costs have been lumped into payroll and tax benefits where previously they may have been separated out. And so they're going to adjust and do a budget revision for next month to properly show where those costs were and where they are, so that you all can better understand why there's a cost variance in that particular line item. The other line items are pretty much in order, but that one is all, but that's because other line items have been lumped into they'll identify what those were and then show you how we're adjusting for it.
That's one question or just something. Shay, maybe you can help me. So we see the column in the beginning that says annual budget.
Yes.
So say, for instance, just telephone under expenses, and the annual budget for that is $17,698. And then you have the actual is $17,860, but then the budget number is $10,321. Shouldn't that be $17,693? Should those two numbers be the same?
So for the first column is the annual budget, and that's the budget for the entire year. And then in the year-to-date budget column, it's for the it's for how many months have passed. So
So it's prorated. It's
Yes,
prorated.
yes.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you, if we've actually spent $17,860 to date, is that correct?
Yes.
Why are we only at 42%? if the budget is $17,693, shouldn't that be?
That's a 42% variance between the budgeted and the actual
For that month.
for that line, yeah.
So we're 42% over budget.
Over
Yes.
The budget for the
Okay,
7 months
so
is 10,000.
it's not percentage of, it's percentage over.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we can go to the next report, which is the,
Jay,
yes.
just let me interject something. The other thing that I think would be important, as highlighted there, is if you and Daphne can get together and as we do that budget revision, that we're able to articulate to the board why those cost over. So if it's like insurance costs more than we budgeted last year, or there's been a tremendous cost in the telephone based on equipment or contracts or whatever. We just need to be able to explain to the board why that variance in cost and what it's attributed to, if we can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because for Trent Court, the tower was not, but for Trent Court, you still have a 16% bottom line administrative variance.
Yeah.
Not nearly as big as on some of those line items. But still, it's 1/6, it's a material.
Next up is the New Bern Towers report. Does anyone have any questions about the New Bern Towers report? Okay. The next report is the cash lead sheet. Does anyone have any questions about the cash lead sheet? Okay. And the next report is the investment statement for July, and the balances for the programs have been updated to reflect the ending balance.
One of the things we'll do next month too, and I'll get to Jen, before that, and we'll talk to Jeff. Because one of the things from that investment is going extremely well, and we've had discussion before of maybe increasing the investment amount based on how well that investment for First Citizens is doing. So I'll get with Jim, Commissioner Copeland before then, and then maybe he can provide an update on what the opportunities are for us to provide some increase to some of the funds we get that city in reserve.
And that's all I have today.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that our grant summary sheet, you'll have that the next time. It's not in this packet, so it usually is. Just in case somebody is looking for it. Okay, any other questions concerning our finance report? Okay,
Okay,
Motion to approve the finance report.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I make a motion, we approve the finance report.
So move, any, questions? Okay, all in favor of approval of our finance report? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ayes have it. Now, we will have our executive directors.
okay. First thing I want to mention to you all, if you would just put down these dates for now, on January 4th through January 7th. In Tampa, Florida, is the FIDA, which is the Public Housing Directors Association Commissioners Conference. Several of you all have attended in the past, and I think it's been proven to be very valuable for the commissioners to attend that conference. And I'd like to put that, and they should be posting information within the next month, and I'll get that information to you. But I would encourage, if you have availability in your schedule, to set aside some time to go with us to the.
No, it's Tampa. Is there some place where there's information about Hotels and
They haven't put,
place they haven't.
all they did now is
Just give us
just
dates.
gave us the dates and they indicated that no details as far as registration and all of that will be out within the next. You'll just let us know. I'll get you the information.
Okay.
I just right now want you to plug those dates and put them on hold. And then we'll get you the conference information and then we handle your registration, hotel registration, everything for you. I just would encourage you all to set aside that day.
Definitely worth the time and effort. I attended my first one in January and I really, I mean, I just, you know, it's really.
All right, so keep that in mind. September 26th, for the good of everybody here from the board and the community. September 16th at 5:30 here in the gymnasium. I mean, not 24, I'm sorry, September 16th.
Okay.
At 5:30 here at Stanley White in the gym. We will have the culmination of the year-long work on the CNI plan. We will present that to the community, the final plan that you all have received in a link, but we'll have more detailed information with that. We're also putting together these booklets, which we will give out to everyone that is student, so they'll have a keepsake, the transformation implementation plan to take with them when they leave that event that night. So we've had a lot of community support. So all of our community partners that have helped us along the way since last October, November will be invited, as well as the general community will be invited today. We encourage you all as board members to attend this program. See that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ms. Judy, towards neighborhood initiative. And that is the grant that we're preparing whenever HUD puts out a notice of funding availability. That generally amount is somewhere between $30 and $50 million of grant funds that we can apply for, and that's what we're preparing this document. Okay.
And may I say, please share it, let's get the word out, to everyone. So it's a public thing. We need their input, we need their support, so please.
If we, you know, a few meetings ago, we had some folks here upset about some of this. Some somewhat predicated on some misunderstanding. Said we ameliorated some of that.
I think we've done a pretty good job of that, in having conversation with them. I think they understand that our goal is to work in collaboration and not working in a silo or the adversarial from that standpoint. So I think we've addressed that, and I think in a positive way. And naturally, like anything else, the devil is in the details, but I think people understand that our goal is to create something that highlights the history of the school and the value and benefit to the community, and not that we're trying to take away from that. So I think from that perspective, it's been received from the last movie in a positive way.
And none of this is blocking some of this. No, this is really, we want to get on. This could be adjusted.
Yeah, so this is just, as you said, this is the plan based on community support. And then once the NOFA comes out, there may be some minor tweaks that we need to make to the plan in order to meet such requirements. But as of right now, we think the plan, based on our consultants who have a 1,000% batting average of getting these grants, and so they're comfortable with what we've been able to put together from a community perspective. They're excited about it. They feel really good about what we've been able to do here in Newburgh as a small community, preparing ourselves to go after this grant.
Yeah, I think it's hard to overstate how big this would be. I know some of the least than people. That's right. Correct.
So no, thank you all. Thank you for the support we've had over the last year, but the 16th will be a great culmination to follow that at. The other thing that I'm focused on, just from overall community, so when we look at the CNI, we're required to take the 218 million times 2 plus 1 is what we require in the grant application when it comes out to build that. So with the designs for FR Dana site, for the Days Inn site, and then the Trent Court site, we have to do what is called right sizing our units. And so that is, we take the residents for the bedroom sizes they're in now and what they would need if we were to build something today. Now, that may change, they may move out, but as of today, if we take those 4 families that are residing in 3-bedroom units or less, who need 4-bedroom units to right size it. So in our plan, we're planning to build 4 units of 4-bedroom units. I'm working with Zeb at the redevelopment commission, because if you look at all of the designs and all of the plans that we've been working on with architects, because of the configuration and the design of each building, it would be very difficult to put 4-bedroom units in those buildings. So what we're planning to do is to remove those 4 units, or those 4-bedroom units out of those 3 sites, and then build those at an offsite. So I've been working with Zeb at the redevelopment commission to look at sites that are owned by the redevelopment commission that may be available and suitable for us to be able to build some duplex or townhome type units. And so right now, I've honed in on a couple of different sites that they have, over the next few months. As we have continued discussion, I'll bring back some suggestions and recommendations to the board of sites that are owned by them that I think would be more suitable for those 4-bedroom units.
That helps build communities, because if it's a 4-bedroom unit, you know it's a family,
Right.
and that's gonna help to solidify and build the community by having families in these much better built homes and.
And I will base to Sabrina's point, I'm looking at lots within the Duffield area and our targeted area, but I've chosen several, and we're doing the due diligence. And when I say the due diligence, he's giving me the sites that they own. I'm giving them to the architect and let them do what is called a fit plan. So they're taking townhome designs or duplex designs and laying them out on those sites to see if they will fit properly on those particular sites before we go any further. That way we know we like the sites, but we need to make sure that a 4-bedroom duplex, single family, whatever, will fit on some of those lots that we're looking at. And so as we go through that process, I'll be coming back to you all. Okay. I think that is all, Madam Chair, that I have for my report at this particular time.
Okay, any other questions for our executive director on the board?
Okay, next we will have our New Bern Towers report.
Good afternoon. For New Bern Towers, the occupancy rate is 97% in July. This is July report during June report. Okay. As I said, occupancy rate is 97%. The tar rate is 2%. That's the tenant account receivable. We have the outstanding requests. Well, the request received, I'm going with the request received with the work orders is 45, completed 35, and outstanding is 10. We had 7 police reports total. And that's the report for July, which was June report. August report, which is July. We have occupancy rate of 96%. We have a tar rate of 2%. Outstanding work orders received is received request received is 57, completed 47, outstanding is 10. Total police reports was 9. That's the report.
Anything else major, you wanna mention?
Well, we had, I evicted, we had 2 evictions for drugs. And it wasn't, yes, and it wasn't on the, site, but they was involved with drugs, and so they had to, be evicted.
Question on, I see you have 2 larcenies. Are you concerned, is it something, anything that you can increase security or anything like that, or is it just?
Well, with the larceny, they, with that incident, the resident had their company that they had there, and, they reported that they had taken their rent money, which, you know, but it was their company. So, of course, they called the law on that, but, the
Wasn't
police,
necessarily breaking it down.
none of that. Mostly they will let them in, or it's company related. And the police do come out, they come and do walkthroughs, and they come when I call
Good.
them. They come, and I call them off.
Just to also, to give y'all an update, you said that just in that, we did have a situation with one of the elevators. And the elevator company is working on that particular elevator, so one is down right now.
Yeah.
And one is operating, so, we're working with the elevator company, we've given them the authorization for them to do their initial troubleshooting. And that is, and that initial is not to fix it, because they don't know the full cost to repair it yet, but they did give us an estimate for them to do their troubleshooting, and we've given them an authorization to do that. And so they're putting us on schedule to facilitate that. We've also continued to work with the architect to do that complete the full assessment. The Dominion group has come out and did the initial review. As you all authorized for us to look at the comprehensive nature of the repairs that are needed at Newbury Towers. So one of the other things, in order for us to complete that process, if we wanted them to, they came back and we took down the sheetrock and 2 of the units that were damaged. Where we can then be able to look within the cavities of the walls of the units there at Newbury Towers to truly be able to assess, because we know that exists in some of those units, we pretty much know it exists. And the majority of them, because we're having some mortar penetration to the building, so when it rains or other things, we're having that water penetration. And so we're doing a complete assessment. And before Dominion can complete their report, we wanted to get the architects and engineers in to look at the structural nature of that building to see how that water is penetrating. So when they give us that final report, part of them giving us that final report comes along with a cost estimate of what they think the total cost it would be to fix everything that we're looking at. We know that there's some roof issues at that building. And so that's affecting some of that as well. So I just want to keep you all up to date, that we're still completing that process. But we are looking at the holistic nature of that building. So when we get that report done, we'll present that to the board.
You have a timeline as to when that
Our
should.
goal, so if we knew, was the only thing that was holding it, for them to get their final report is them coming back last week to do that interior assessment of those walls, because our architect was concerned that that was left off of their review to give a better cost estimate. And so, so I think they'll provide that within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then probably 30 days after that. So within 45 days, we should have that final report. So I think definitely, if I'm not able to present that at our October meeting, I know we'll be able to present it at our November.
And I do want to say, when we do have any problems, like with the residents and the wet issue or any issue that goes on in the unit, we do move them. And we do try to get them out of that, area.
I was gonna ask if are there any units that are inhabitable because of this problem?
Right. Three A and eight L.
Okay.
And those were the units that we did the assessment, so we took the sheet rocks and walls down, so that the architect and engineers can really be able to do a full assessment.
A couple questions for you. Yes. That's what we took the report off in on the police report. I'm not traffic stop. Oh.
Traffic stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, and then, assist another agent. That's when they come in, they come with the police officers, like, social service will come. So they assist that agency, or, if the fire department come, they'll come with the fire department, ambulance, sometimes they'll come. And it's, that's, okay, right, yeah, assist other agencies. Like when somebody dies, sometimes the police and the ambulance.
I got you, they come this. Now, when you have a year-to-date unpaid balance, how does that work? If I didn't pay my bill for it.
No, ma'am. So if they don't pay, we move to an eviction. But that is the total amount of unpaid amounts of everybody. So even though they may be evicted, it's still,
It's
we have
still
to
there.
carry it until you all approve to write it off.
I got you.
And they're way better than they used to.
Yes.
Oh,
Way better.
Much, it's a much smaller number now.
Oh, okay.
8,000, right?
Yeah.
Circa.
Mr. Barner helped.
We don't waste time. Because, and just for your knowledge, what would happen is out of the goodness of our heart, we were bleeding hearts to hear them say that they can't, so they're 5 months, 6 months, and we're like, no. You made your mind up the month you did pay, and we made our mind up that you can't stay. We were simply in agreement, and so we try to get them out of the time we get. So we don't build up a large amount. Now, let me be clear, and I don't mean that in a lighthearted way, but we do everything we possibly can to work with the families, work with agencies in the community to get some assistance, but we make it perfectly clear. It's called subsidized housing for a reason. It's based on your income. If you lose that income, please report it to us and we'll go down in your rent. We have no problem doing that. But if you have the income that you reported and we find within the system that you have, we base your rent on that amount. And that is the amount, whether it's $30 or $2 or $1,000, whatever it is, we expect you to pay it. And then when you choose not to, then we process.
And now, since you said with the TA, instead I'm gonna put out traffic stuff.
I'm glad y'all wrote this down. Somebody mentioned it a meeting or two ago, but I like having these things broken out.
Yeah, I've been asking for it for a couple of years now. So, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Mhm.
For Ms. Natasha? Okay. Trent Ford report?
Good afternoon, everyone. So, for June, I think you have to flip it over. Yes. Yeah.
So you're on inventory or not, I didn't even, track for it or not.
Did you say Trent Ford?
Have the file. Oh, yeah, okay. It's two. Yes, one in first.
So the one on the top is July's, for July, the one on the bottom. Which one, how would y'all like to proceed? The one on the top or going in? Okay, so this is for July, reporting for in August. So our occupancy rate for, July is 95%. We had a tar rate of 1%. we had, one violation, which was, eviction for, peaceful and enjoyment of the neighbor and then, so they had to leave. For work orders, we have 6 outstanding. For the police calls is 6. And for
What you saying is, somebody was making too much noise, basically, they were causing too much of a disturbance.
Right.
So they.
well, no, actually, it was a physical fight between 2 of the neighbors.
I'm saying,
Keep
she
peaceful,
didn't understand that, right, peaceful.
peaceful.
Yeah, so
Okay.
part of the lease requirement is every tenant is responsible for themselves, their guests, visitors, to make sure that we have a peaceful enjoyment for everyone in the community. When we're in violation of that, we have discussions with them, and then we move forward from there. So if your guests come and do something wrong, you're responsible for it, because your guest is not a tenant on our property. So if you allow them to come and do something wrong while they're visiting on site, and they say, hey, I was visiting Miss Judy, then we come to Miss Judy, and we hold you accountable. And that also wasn't being effectively done in the past, but as people will say, we do a pretty good job of making sure that we're shooting.
Question on the, just on the council, who will have to know good. Especially this month, the prior month, it's certainly looked that good. You received more than you charged, so how will you have a positive month unpaid? Wouldn't it be a negative minus 190?
Sometimes they could receive back rent.
Oh, yeah, I know,
Okay.
but you're showing the charge is less than the received, so you actually got a negative, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
I think it's the same amount, it's just the sign.
okay.
Yeah.
See what you're saying, so. Let me read back here.
And then it'd be like a negative .1 or.
I apologize for that. Anything, other questions for, July report? And I can move on to June. Okay, so for June, it was a 97% occupancy rate. We had, 12% tar rates, 22 outstanding requests, 20, total police calls. As you can see, for the work orders, we did, clean it up a whole lot. We got it down to 6, for July. July.
What?
Mhm.
Yeah, the bar rate is fine, that's what. Well, from a month ago. How does it? Isn't it, if the tar rate's a certain level, doesn't it trigger a problem? Let me explain that to us. I mean, right now, we're good.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're trying to make sure, going back to what you were saying, what your question is and what we were saying earlier. It's important for us when the tenants don't pay for us to begin that process for eviction, because otherwise, in this case for June, it makes our tar rate go up because some of it is, in all honesty, some of it is not just because of 1 month. It may have been a situation, and we're just talking, it may have been a situation where and let somebody stay 2 months before we process them, okay? And so, and me and her didn't have a come to Jesus conversation. Or she's laughing because we did. I mean, what in the world is this? That is not our policy, that's not what we're doing, that's not what we agreed to, that's not what we tell the board we're doing. Then y'all see the next month, she got it together and we moved forward, but you're right, the whole intent is for us to make sure, that is why it's important that we move forward, because we don't get to recoup. So HUD didn't come back and give us money when they don't pay, so again, the subsidized is based on what their portion is, what we get from the federal government. If we don't collect the portion we're supposed to get from the tenant, we're not getting any additional money. So that's why it's so important that when they don't pay, we go ahead and move to that process.
So is that why our pending terminations for non-pay went up from like 8 to 21 month to month? Is that why we're gonna have to get a little serious with that?
So
We don't expect that all of those are actually gonna terminate, right? Most of them, they'll find a way to get the money.
Right,
That's right.
that's correct.
Yeah, it's very, believe it or not, when we process, it honestly is very little. It's a small number that we ever really get to eviction, but if we don't ever file, then they just think it's okay and it's comfortable. And to, you know, me and the staff had this discussion all the time. It was, they were taught that way. I mean, to be fair to them, they were taught that way, is don't evict them, let's work with them. So, you know, for them is, we're, you know, they're looking at it as we're trying to help them. But I'm educated them that we're really not helping them, we're hurt, to your point, we're hurting ourselves because as Sabrina said, that number used to be $80,000. Well, we're not getting that money back. You know, we're almost 3 months to the end of the year and we're still, in most cases, below $10,000, where we used to be 6 months and did $75,000.
And by hurt ourselves, we don't mean the people around the state, but we mean effectively the other residents.
Yeah.
It's on time.
They suck.
We didn't understand the importance of it until, to be honest, until it was broken down to us, how it had a ripple effect. So when we saw that it had that ripple effect, then it let us know that it's important that you have to do what needs to be done. And thank you.
No, and here, we live in a small community. So, you know, to their defense, they grew up here, they grew up in Trent Court, their family members, their church members, their neighbors, people that they know their whole lives are the residents that we serve. And so, you know, again, besides that, along with previous management supported that type of thing, so they did, you know, so you're thinking, like Tasha said, we're thinking we're helping, but from a business standpoint, we're really not helping. And as I tell people all the time, my responsibility and our responsibility is to be a good steward of federal funding. That is our charge, that is taxpayers' money that we're receiving. So we're not doing right when we don't administer it in the right way, and that's why we have to make sure that when we're late, we have to process and not let that large number accumulate, because we're not being good stewards of taxpayers.
Any other questions for Ms. Minor? Thank you so much. Good job, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll have our Ross program report.
There's no report, we're still in the process for the new people or senior hearing. I have, couple more interviews that we had to reschedule that I'm having this week. And then we'll come back and have some discussion, you know.
If we didn't get the grant page, and the money's.
Yeah, we have funds. It's not just, yeah, now it's just, so we broke it up into two. One to focus on more employment, and then another one to focus more on the families. So that way we can take a dual approach to the needs of our residents, and we really try to help them the best way we can.
Okay, so we have a couple of resolutions.
So we're only gonna have one.
We'll have,
Yeah,
okay,
and that is, I'm asking the resolution to approve for 930 Pollard Street for y'all to allow me to pay for an appraisal. We've had, as part of the process that we're using with CNI, is the Habitat store property. We would like that, we've had some discussion with Habitat, and it's been positive conversation. But in order for us to really go forward with any further conversation, from a business standpoint, we need to know what's the value of that building. And so I'm asking the board for approval tonight where I can, solicit and pay for an appraisal, for that, and then we can come back and have further discussion with, the applicant.
Well, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 08.25.01.
Are there any questions? All in favor of resolution number 08.25.01, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, it is approved. And I guess I will sign this at the end of the meeting, okay?
Are we tabling the second item to the next item? Or we just really?
We're having a discussion with you.
Oh, I see. It was just on the resolution.
Okay. We do need to go into closed session. And so I need a motion to go into closed session.
This is my favorite thing to do. So I make a motion, and thank you for printing it on there. It makes it really nice. I make a motion that we go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11, section A, section 3.
And that is to consult with legal counsel.
Okay, thank you.
Can I get a second, please?
Judy, you say anything now.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I said that, you didn't say anything else.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Any
Any opposed? Thank you.
They left. They left. On pause.
And could you stop recording?
That was on pause. Okay. Okay.
Did you stop it?
Yes,
It's on pause.
it's on, she paused
And
for
whoever,
recording.
wasn't it a youth on?
They're gone.
They're
They
gone.
left.
Thank you.
I'll just be outside.
Wait, your screen sharing is paused. Did you pause the recording? I did. It still says recording up at the top.
Okay.
Top right. Oh, there.
Pause recording.
That's why I paused it right here. But
Okay, we are back into closed session.
Open session.
I'm sorry. We are back into open session, thank you, and I would like to entertain a motion that we approve the agreement between New Bern Housing Authority and Urban Strategies Incorporated.
And authorize
And
executive
authorize
director to
our
negotiate.
executive director to negotiate.
Well, I'll make the motion.
I was saying, yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
And then
Question?
second,
Second.
All in favor of this?
Yeah.
Good. Any opposed? Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for your due diligence.
Motion to
adjourn.
Just one comment, I just, first of all, Reggie, you have just done an amazing job, and I want to publicly thank you for taking us down a road I never thought we would go. Thank you. And it's just amazing. I know on the outside, it doesn't look like very much, but on the inside, it's all in your body. So thank you. I know I want to do that. And then I did want to ask you, could you give us an update? Did you go to HBC last week? Were you able to, are they still reviewing
Yeah.
everything, or where are we at with that?
So with HBC, we continue to have great meetings
I know that.
and discussions with HBC. They're supportive. What we ask of HBC is after September 16th, that they write a letter to SHPO, endorsing the master plan process that we've undertook. Because naturally, SHPO asks always one question, and that is,
What is
what is
HPC
the local,
thing?
right? So if we, and HPC has said they're willing to write a letter of support for the master plan process that we've gone through. So we think if we do that with what we present to them, because SHPO wants this very detailed master plan with plan specs and all that. And this is a 10-year process. So what we want to say to SHPO is, here's the plan. Here's the support coming from our local HBC. They're comfortable with it. We got a COA from them to do the demolition. Here is a COA in kind, if you will, for the master plan. And we think if we do that collectively together, certificate of appropriateness.
Thank you. I was like, what is this?
So with that, we feel like we can get SHPO to move. FEMA will follow. FEMA's comfortable. But they will follow what SHPO does, and so we wanna all go on a united front, and HPC is on board with helping us do that.
Yeah, meant to ask you that earlier and I forgot to.
Oh, Jamie, I forgot. So,
resolution.
yeah, the other resolution, city council approved, so we will have it. We will have it, I come from
Board of Aldermen.
the Board of Aldermen.
What exactly did they approve?
They approved the resolution for the partnership between with CNI, between us and,
That's going.
So that's good. That means the city's on board with CNI.
yeah. So
Question. Since we've got the ongoing alderman and mayoral election now, do we have any concerns that someone running might get in with this the outdoor on that?
So the good thing is, y'all are appointed for a 5-year term. Or to finish existing.
I'm not worried about it, and I'm worried about,
I think, so,
that's not what we've got going, which is very positive.
yeah, everyone that is running that has called me has been extremely supportive of
That's what it all is.
the work that we're doing. So nobody has called me.
Not everyone has.
Yeah, no,
You haven't had any.
Interestingly enough, though, that's probably been, I would say, one of the top 3 questions that the community, I mean, all citizens are asking, what's going on with the housing authority? Why aren't the buildings torn down? So that's pretty much the basic question. So it's good that they're reaching out to Reggie and getting the answers and try to, everybody's.
It's good that we're on this, but we're about to get a new board. Some of them will be new.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
State Historic Preservation Office. So whenever you tear down or renovate a building that has federal funds attached to it, like Trent Court, you have to go through the State Historic Preservation Office for them to review to make sure you're not messing up anything historic. And even if a building looks ugly to us, it still could be very historic. So they're the gatekeeper. FEMA, HUD will not do anything until SHPO says, okay. And they're in Raleigh and they're in Raleigh. And they're part of the state, so they know. A lot of acronyms.
Yeah.
So if you, yeah.
I'm glad you're here to ask the questions, because some of us, they're too long to ask some of those.
I know most of them,
So I guess we don't have any more
My
questions.
birthday.
I will take a motion to,
Just real quick,
okay.
Agape, I want to publicly. say
Oh,
thank
yes,
you.
thank you.
Yes, we come here. Thank you.
As someone that's transitioned that doesn't work for us anymore directly, Carolyn got sick and was contagious, and I sent her home. And I called Agape and said, hey,
thank you.
yeah, that's why I got
She
sick.
came.
She came, she had a mask on, but, I said, no, you gotta leave, you gotta go home. Even though it's a board meeting, so I called Agape at 10 o'clock, and she was born up to be there at 11, I said, we're coming at 12. And so again, I really appreciate you doing that. And I want to
Yes.
Say thank you, okay. Now I'm done, I'm sorry.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, so we do need a motion to adjourn.
Oh.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Uh,
Nobody has any- okay, I'm gonna. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Right on.